all you pioneers out there, Commander Kingfish here, and I am back in Satisfactory 1.0, and I have been working away, trying to get things a little more automated, a little more organized here on the factory floor, and trying to figure out things that I can remove from some of my outlying bases or factories, and being able to bring those in here and having them work, or have them, the parts being made here. So it'll cut down on the logistics problems. So why don't we first go look at what I have gotten accomplished. In the last episode, you remember we got the plastics up and running. So what I have done is I am now utilizing those plastics. You can see them coming up right there. So if we go up above, well, first off, the other thing is too, I had another copper mine or a copper node out there. So I set it up to come up and start processing copper up here. Now, eventually, I'm probably going to make this whole area right out and in here all copper production, because I've got copper mines over there, and I'd like to actually bring all of that stuff up and get that up here processing. So this will probably get extended out, and I'll continue that. Plus, I've got actually right there, that is a copper mine, a miner right there, and I want to be able to bring that over here as well, so that all of my copper is being produced right here. And then that means I can kind of shut some of that other stuff down once I get it over here, which that also means I've got to bring my steel production over. So we'll have to figure that out. Of course, I've got that coal mine down there, and what I might end up doing is the other factory, consolidating that down, because as I get plastics being produced here, I don't need to produce plastics down there. What I am going to do with that oil, though, and I'm going to shut those power supplies down, and I'm going to bring that oil, I'm going to package that oil and bring it over here for processing. So, but that's a little ways in the future yet, but that's kind of the plan. So let's go, actually, let's go up here, and you'll kind of see what I've got going. So this is my copper production. I've got 2 smelters handling all of the ore that is coming up, and you can see that this is working at 100%. So there's no issues there. And I have the copper ingots coming in here, and they're splitting, and that's coming in and producing wire. And then it's also producing wire over here. And then the other mine is being split, or the other smelter, and this is producing wire. So I got 3 wires, and then I've got copper sheets being produced. So, and this one's running just a little behind on that, but that's okay. It's not that big a deal. So if we, and then so hop out over here. So I have one of those copper wires producing cable, and then the other is just going into a storage bin. So as we need it, if I need to, run it somewhere else, then I'll be able to do that. So we've got that set up. And I also, I think in the last episode, I had gotten this done, and this is my AI limiter. And we should be getting just about almost have this filled up. So we'll have just about, looks like another 65 to go. And then this is where my plastic is being stored. We're using that. And that's coming in over here. So we've got the copper sheets right there that is backed up and getting stored, which is good. So this is where our circuit boards are being created. So, and then they're being stored right here. So you can see that. Now, I got a hole in the floor here just because I've got to figure out how I am, or where it's going to go, because I've got to use circuit boards in creating my computers, which is going to be built down below. And I think I need circuit boards in something else that I'm going to have to be building. So I'm going to need to get those down. The high-speed connectors as well as for the computers. So that's what I've got going on up here right now. And again, I've got plenty of room and I can still expand out if I need be. So this is on the second level. So if we hop down here, this is where the circuit boards are going to end up. And so I'm still kind of working on the logistics of it. But this is a manufacturer, and this floor is going to be mostly for manufacturers. And so that one over there is going to get taken out once I have that, because that's just a kind of a quick fix setup so that I could create some adaptive control units over there. So this takes circuit boards. This is going to be producing my high-speed connectors. And so the only thing that I've got to get down here is the circuit boards. And then I'm going to put in the manufacturer over here for the computers, because I need computers to build the supercomputer. So for the supercomputer, I need computers, the AI limiter, the high-speed connector, and the plastic. And so once I get the computers being built, I'll have all 4 components being made, and then I'll be able to put that supercomputer manufacturer in place, and I can get that built out. So that's what I have gotten done so far. So what I wanted to work on, I've got some more stuff that I've gotten done down below. Actually, let's see how many of these are built. Are you producing? Yeah, you are. Really slow though. And I'll need 70 more, it looks like. That one's going to get produced, so that'll come through. So I'm going to need 70 more of those things. So that has been a very slow process. All right, let's hop in the Explorer, the buggy, and let's wheel around here, get turned around. Now, back down to where the oil is being processed, and I'm actually getting I'm pretty happy with that process so far. The other thing I'm going to be putting in today is a power generator so that we can use this fuel that's being pumped out. And so if we come over here, and we're going to just kind of slowly cruise right on into right here, and then we're just going to park it right here so it's not in the way. All right, let's hop out. So if we come down here, you can see I put in another bin, storage bin. So that's, everything's empty because that is going through, but eventually that's going to get backed up. I've got 2 refineries that are now producing this, and so you can see that this refinery was the one that we put in last episode, and then I put in another one today, and so that is producing plastics as well. So you can see that we're running at 100%, which also means I got the refinery in that is producing the poly, what is it? The poly. Of course, it's the polymer resin. So it's producing that, and then it is generating fuel besides that. So let's see how we're doing. Oh, we're not too bad. So what I want to do is, this is where I wanted to work at. So let's see what we can get done down here. I need to put in a refinery. I've already gathered up all the parts, or I hope I have all the parts on me. So we're going to put in another refinery right here. And we're just going to drop it in. Now this one, I'm going to start producing rubber here with this one. So, well, actually, this refinery is going to be producing the polymer just like on the last one. And then the refinery I build after that is going to produce the rubber. So let's grab a refinery and get that into place here. Got to twist it like that. Let's just kind of hit that on hold right there. Let's move that over. Just that should be lined up. And let's bump it out a little bit. Let's see how much room do we have. Where's this one at? It's on the line. Yeah, I think that's lined up right there. And we have this lined up right there, which is what I want. That's what we have coming in. So let's go ahead and build that. We don't have anything else going into the refinery. So let's grab our pipes and go ahead and connect that up right now. And there we go. Now, I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure that these have been staying full. So I don't think, yeah, these, no, it has not been a problem with keeping these full. So there's plenty of oil coming in to be processed. All right, so we've got this in. I'm going to have to do something with these power poles. And I think what we're going to do right here, let's, where does that power, oh, I think it hooks into the front. Yeah. Oh, that's already got 4 coming into it, of course. So, you know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. What I should have done to begin with. So let's put a wall in. One there. We'll put one there. I got fat fingers again today, it looks like. All right. And let's zoom this down a little bit. That should be good. Now, the other thing that we can do is, let's get over to our power slot. Power. And we can put some of these in. Let's put one in right here, because these give us a lot more connections. And then we can just run the power along through here. Let's put in a couple more walls. And that should do it for now. Because here's what we're going to do. We're going to put another power node in right here. Power. There we go. And let's put that right there like that. And then we're going to run from there to there. And we can run from there down to there. And then we're going to put another power node in down here. Power node. There, and that looks good. And then we can run from that one down to there. And then what we want to do is what I want to, let's see. I need to hopefully replace both of these. So let's take these out, and then we'll get these hooked in over there and over there, except what I need to do is actually what I need to do, because I don't want the lines running through. So I think what I need to do is run this wall up. I don't have a way of extending that I'm aware of. I'll probably learn something later. But let's do this. Let's just go ahead and move these walls up. And we can put that power node, put a power node up above. I'm going to have to adjust this around once I figure something a little better out. But this is what I want to do is I hate seeing the power lines running through the middle of stuff. So let's do this. Let's hit back to our power, and let's get another node, and we can do it like this. We can then run this up to there, and then I need to remove these again. That one out, that one out, and then I can run from there up to there, from there over to there. And I think that should be fine because this is going to be a storage unit in here, so the power lines will be above it. So for now the other thing I need to do is what I want to do is run this power then from here over to there, and then that means we should be able to take that out and take that out, and then I can take this pole out. Okay. And then that also means I can either run another line from one click. There we go, over to there. Oh, and there's one more thing I got to do here, I think. Let me look. Yeah, I got to put 2 power shards in this over here. Oh, select a recipe. This is going to be... No. Yeah, this is going to be for fuel and polymer. All right, and I need to put 2 of these in so that this goes up to 50, and it's probably already full already. Now, let's get a storage bin in. right. Make sure I got it the right way. And let's probably try to keep it even with that. So that is lined up there. I think we move this over just a notch. That should have that lined up there. All right, perfect. Go ahead and build that. And then we can run our conveyors over to... What did I do? Did I put that in backwards? I swear I flipped that around. All right, let's try it again. All right, okay, that's lined up there. That's lined up there. All right, let's try that again. Okay. That's better. Okay, so there's the polymer coming out. So now what we want to do is put in for our fuel. So let's grab our pipes. And I've already put a T-junction in over here. So we're going to just go ahead and put the fuel, run it right out of here, and take it over there. And so we're going to do kind of the same thing that you see on that other one. So if we go in here, grab our logistics, grab our pipeline, and I want to try to somewhat line this thing up. Let's see, about right there. Turn it the other way. I think that's good right there. Yeah, actually that's good right there. And then we're going to bring that up. Actually, we'll bring it up another notch. Maybe even, that should be good. Now, what we're going to do is go from there, and then we're going to go horizontal to vertical. Well, let's try that again. We're going to go horizontal to vertical, and we should be able to go right into there like that. There we go. So that's got fuel flowing over there into the fuel tanks. All right. Now the next step is to put in another refinery, and it's going to have its own storage since it's going to be rubber. So we need to, let's do this. Grab our refinery. And let's flip it around so it's right. I think if we line it up, the hologram right there. And let's see if we can get this somewhat lined up. Storage. Maybe come over one. Maybe one. There it is. That's lined up. Now we still need to bring water over. And I don't know. I got to think about this. This is water. Got enough pressure. Let's build that. I always end up forgetting to build. All right, now we can look at this right here. Let's see how our... Yeah, it is full. We've got the pump down there. Flow rate. I think I can put a T right here. Let's try this. And grab that. Let's see. What if we put it out over here? And do that. Now, let's see what happens. Let's see if we can do this. And then we want to hit R. We want to do the horizontal to vertical. And let's just see how this works. I think that looks pretty good, actually. Oh, let's see if it... Alright, we've already got... I think that's already got water pressure into there. And let's hit 6. I know this is not probably the prettiest pipeline setup. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, I got another achievement. I got... for 5 kilometers of pipeline. All right, so that's there. Now we want this to produce rubber residual. So that takes resin and water, which we have. All right. Now we just need to hook the power up to this thing. And that's notch is right there. So if we go from here up to here, that's online. Now we need our storage bins, and I'm going to put 2 of them here. And let's just see if we can't do that. Let's hit H for our hologram. Those are lined up. Let's just bring it back. There's no, might as well save a little bit of space. Put that one there. Just that there. There we go. Now let's hit 6. Into there, and we should see rubber coming out. Nice, okay. And we're gonna also hook that in. Okay, now the next thing that we want that I wanted to get accomplished here was another power generator, since we have all of this fuel and I keep flushing it. So let's do this. Power, and we want to put in this fuel generator. Oh, actually not yet. We do not want to put that in just yet. I want to put in 2 more of these. And we should be hit H. I think that should be lined up. Sort of lined up anyway. Oh man, all right. We'll build it again. Let's hit H right there. We had hit our nudge limit. Who knew that there was a nudge limit? All right. Let's go ahead and put that in right there like that. One more. H. Might be overkill. We might not need these, but I don't want the fuel to get backed up. Hopefully we'll burn off enough fuel that we don't have to worry about the fuel getting backed up and slowing production down on the other stuff. All right, let's go ahead and put that in. And then we need to connect these up. Where's our logistics? Grab our pipes. And there. There. All right. Now, with the rubber getting produced and 2 bins, there should be plenty of fuel starting to come through. Let's take a look. Yep, we are starting to see the flow coming in. And let's see how this one looks. Yeah, this one's full, so it's going to start draining down. But this way, if we come over here, you should see that this is still producing. I think it had stopped because the fuel had backed up. So now let's get that power supply or that power generator in. We're just going to put it right out in front here. Q, the power, and now the fuel. I think that's right. Let's hit the hologram. Yep, that is lined up. So let's bring it down as close as we can. How about right there? Now let's hit Q and bring up our fuel. Be able to all right, and then we have to tie this into the power grid. But first thing I wanted to do, and I don't know if I can do it right here. No, but let's kind of look at our power grid so that we can see how it changes when we actually bring that online. So we can see that we've got a lot of fluctuation going on. We've brought all that other stuff on. And our other power generators, I think, are just not producing the way I'd like for them to. So we might have even dipped into our battery a little bit, or even into our biomass. So now let's see if we can bring this thing online. Where's the electrical connection? There should be one on there. Let's grab our wire and just bring it over. Of course, it would be all the way through right there. What if we did it from this for right now? I think there's still a... Okay. So it's got plenty of fuel coming in, and you can see that we have picked that up above now. So now our power production is that, and you can see that that's going up and down. That's because of the geothermal. So those geysers aren't a consistent power flow, but being able to bring this online will really help. So we'll see how that does with the fuel. So this is filling up, and let's see if it looks like I might have to put a second power generator in, and that would be easy enough to do. We're not going to do that today, but it does look like this is continually filling up. So hopefully it can keep up with capacity so that these back here are not getting shut down. All right. Well, I think the other thing I want to try to do today, and it doesn't look like, well, we'll run back down there. Now that we've got that up and going, the other thing that I will need to do, I'll need to put the conveyor system in for the rubber. And I didn't show you how the conveyor system's looking underneath there, and I'll probably do that. But I think the other thing I wanted to do was get this other manufacturer online, which means it's going to take another hit on our power supply. So I'm probably going to have to start looking at where I can beef up my power generation and see what we can do with that. So let's see. Hold on here. All right. So I wanted to see if I couldn't get this in. This is going to take, I needed to bring in the circuit boards. And what I needed to do was put in a splitter, because I need those circuits to go to 2 different places. So if I put this in, let's see. So I need, what I want that splitter is to, so it'll come in on this side, right there. I'll have the circuits boards come in there. So let's do this. Let's connect this up at least. So that will be into there. And then I need to, I'm going to need to bring the circuit boards down. And the other thing I wanted to do was put a storage, and we're just going to do a small one. I don't need another big one. Well, you know what? Actually, I do want to put a big one in. Because I'll tell you why. You flip that around like that. Let's put that on hold. And if we bring this over a little bit. All right. So the reason I want to put the big one in is it has another input up there that I could always utilize, and it has 2 outlets so that I could go to 2 different places. So that's why I wanted to put that in. And then my manufacturer for my computers is going to go right here. So I think I had grabbed enough stuff for this. I did. So let's turn this around. Was that the way I wanted to do it? Let me think about this here real quick. Line up. All right, let's just do that. So the circuit boards are going to be coming in. So for the computers, I need circuit boards, cable, and plastic. And I have plastic. So the circuit boards are going to come down into here and over. And the cable, you know what? I'm going to run the cable on the ceiling over and down into here. And same with the plastic, because the plastic is coming up over there and getting used up above. But I also put it in one of those larger bins like that. So I'll be able to run the plastic out and over and then come down and hook in. So that's what we're going to do. I think, let me get this, make sure this is, I wanted to try to get this somewhat, maybe back that way. You're not lining up. I was just trying to get it lined up with that other one over there. Maybe one more. Oh. Well, it should be lined up with the ladder right there. If we do this, I guess it's not going to line up exactly. That's close enough though. And then what'll happen is these computers that are being built here will come out into a storage bin, but I'm going to need those to build the supercomputer, which I need for that first objective on phase 4. And so we'll be able to get that. Now, I think that first objective will only need an assembler. So, but the computers that'll be built here, that will go and feed into, or the supercomputers that will be built here. No, this is the computers, and then those will feed into another, I believe, manufacturer, or something like that, and then those will feed in along with those components that I'm building over there. Well, I think that was a good day's bit of work, as well as the work that I have gotten done offline. So I think if we run back and look back over, we look down there, we can see that that's looking pretty good. And so that's starting to fill in. The upper, kind of hop up here, that will start filling in up there. And I've got more, so offline I want to try to move more of the copper over. So we'll get that production all up in that one area. And I can always go higher. Who knows? Who knows how high I can go with this thing? Build the Babylon Tower, I guess. All right. Well, I think we're going to call it good right here. Again, I think we got quite a bit done today. Well, all right, pioneers. Well, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the video. And please subscribe. That will really help out the channel. Okay, pioneers, keep those efficient production lines flowing to keep Ada happy. And with that, Commander Kingfish is out of here. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.